You know that moment when you meet someone new, you're chatting, getting to know them, and eventually the conversation might drift to one of the bigger topics in life. And that's when a very, very familiar question comes up.
What's your religion? I mean, you've probably asked it, and you've definitely been asked it. It feels like a simple, easy way to get a handle on what someone's all about, right? Their core beliefs, their worldview.
It just seems so natural. It's how we categorize things. We put beliefs into these neat little boxes: Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, you name it. It's the whole framework we're taught to use when we think about faith.
But here's a wild thought. What if that entire framework is just wrong? What if the very concept of religion is totally foreign to the original biblical text it's supposed to be based on?
Okay, so let's dive into this first big idea from our source material, because it really shakes up this foundational assumption we all have about faith.
Wow. Okay, let that one sink in for a second. This is the core argument, and it is a bold one. The claim here is that there's a massive gap between the faith you read about in the scriptures and the organized religions we see today.
The idea is that over many, many centuries, the original Hebrew context of the scriptures just got lost. It was reinterpreted through a different lens, creating what the source calls a historical error. So how'd that happen? Well, it all starts with the word itself. So, to really get this argument, we have to ask a crucial question: what does the source even mean by the word religion? Because in this context, it's not a neutral term at all. It's given a very specific and pretty critical definition.
According to the text we're looking at, religion isn't some divine concept. It's a human invention. It's a system of rules and doctrines that are based on misunderstandings of the text. It's something built by people, not given to them.
And the source really doesn't pull any punches here. It argues this man-made system isn't just a simple mistake, it's actually harmful. It's seen as this heavy structure that complicates and suffocates instead of setting you free. And to understand why, you got to look at where the word actually comes from. You see, our English word religion comes from the Latin word religare, and it literally means to tie or to bind fast. And the source sees this as a huge clue. Religion, in its very DNA, is about binding people, tying them to a system, to obligations, to a structure made by other people. And this whole concept of binding leads us to a central conflict. This isn't just about one word anymore. It's about two totally different ways of seeing the world crashing into each other.
On one side, you have the Greek mindset, which is really the foundation of all Western thought. It's abstract, it's philosophical, it's all about big ideas. And on the other side, you've got the Hebrew mindset, which is concrete, action-oriented, and focused on relationships and loyalty. The argument is that the Bible was written from a Hebrew perspective, but for centuries we've been reading it through Greek-colored glasses.
This clash of worldviews has created something weird. And to explain it, the source gives us a really fantastic and memorable analogy.
I love this image. The argument is that what we call Christianity today often has the appearance, the frosting, of biblical theology. But the substance, the actual cake itself, is baked with Greek philosophy. Our whole approach to truth, justice, and even community is fundamentally Greek, not Hebrew.
This deep difference in mindset even changes the definition of faith. In the Greek world, faith or pistis is a noun. It's an intellectual agreement, something you have. But in the Hebrew mindset, faith or emunah is way more like a verb. It means steadfast loyalty and faithfulness that you do. Think about that difference for a second. One is about what you believe in your head, the other is about how you actually live your life.
So, if the Bible isn't presenting a religion based on Greek ideas, then what's the alternative? Well, according to the source, it's something completely different.
It's pointed out that the word religion shows up surprisingly few times in many Bible translations, sometimes as few as 4 times. And even then, the argument is that the word was basically shoehorned in by translators trying to make a Hebrew concept make sense to a Greco-Roman culture. It just wasn't a core part of the original message.
The main idea here is that the goal isn't to perfectly follow a man-made system to try and earn points with some distant god. That's the religious model. The biblical model, the source argues, is something much, much more personal. And here's the contrast in black and white. Religion is a system that binds you with rules. The alternative is a relationship that connects you like family. It's the difference between being an employee trying to please a boss and being a child in a loving family. The source points to verses just like this one from the Gospel of John to make its case. The text doesn't say he gave them a new religion to join, it says he gave them authority to become children. The defining identity is family, not an institution.
So after going through all that, let's bring it all home and tie these ideas together for our final takeaway.
So what this all boils down to are these core distinctions. On one side, you have religion as a system, built on abstract Greek ideas and man-made rules designed to bind you. And on the other side, you have the biblical model, a relationship based on concrete Hebrew action and a divine connection where you belong.
And that leaves us with a really provocative final question. It's not about what label you wear, but about the true nature of your belief. It shifts the focus from what's your religion to something way more personal, and maybe a little more challenging. Is what you practice about following a system or fostering a relationship?